Hello, dear students. Welcome in DSEJ online classes. This is a digital initiative by Worthy Director School Education Jammu. Myself, Chandar Prakash, Master Government High School Drubil, Education Zone Indarwal, District Kishtwar. So, before going to our topic, this will be my humble request to all you students. So please keep one notepad and one pen and also textbook of English with you. So because we are going to uh, discuss one beautiful poem from class 10th syllabus of J.K. Bose. And before discussing the main poem, let's discuss some questions. There is one question on your screen. Have you seen any magician? And this will be my humble request to all you learners that you also try to speak out while you are listening this program or this lesson. You should also speak out and should also note down important points. And when I will ask some questions to you, should try to utter those answers, whether I may hear you or not, but you should try to speak. So, have you seen any magician? And you might have seen magicians, of course, on reality shows or in your daily life routine. You might have seen magicians here and there. And what do you think magicians do? So, most probably, they are doing magic. And what is magic? What do we think? We people think about the magic. So, for example, drawing out stars from the head is magic for us. For example, drawing that rays from the head is magic for us. Drawing that parrots from the head is magic for us. So probably these are the answers. That's why we watch magicians, because they do some strange things. So what that means they are doing some miracles. So have you seen any miracle in your life? And what do you think miracle is? Have you seen any miracle? So what is miracle? Actually, what is miracle? So for me, there can be miracle for different people, different miracles. For different people might have different view about the miracles, but for person like me, that if the country like USA will win cricket World Cup in cricket game, so that will be miracle for me because they are not good at this game. And if India will win World Cup in football game, so that will be miracle for me because they are we are not good at playing football. So different people have different views about this miracle. So dear students, you might have somehow got idea what we are going to discuss today. Yes, dear students, today we are going to discuss poem Miracles, and this poem had been written by Walt Whitman. Actually, it's Walt Walt Whitman, and this is from class 10th syllabus, and this is from our taken from J.K. Bose syllabus, and a book, our name of our book is Tulip Series of English. And this is my request to open your book at page number 78 if you have NCERT book. So at page number 78 we have this poem. And before discussing this poem Miracle, let's have a small introduction about this poet who has written this poem, Walt Whitman. He was one of the greatest poet of 90s, and was born in 1819 and died in 1892. So we can say that this was his period. He was also essayist and journalist, and his work was often considered as controversial at that time. He was known for his humanitarian view of religion, and also he was a philanthropist, And these are important points which you have to remember about him, because this poem relates with this his theory. And that and his poet this poet was also called the father of the free verse. What the free verse is, we will discuss also later in this poem, what free verse is. So this was Walt Whitman. So uh, before we study line by line, we will try to understand the meaning of this poems, verse by verse. Before that, we will study word by word this all lines, all verses of this poem. Why who makes much of a miracle as to me? I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the street of Manhattan, or dart my sight over the roof of houses towards the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach, just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day anyone I love, or sit at the table at dinner with the rest, or look at the strangers opposite me riding in the car. These are miracles. Or watch honeybees busy around the hive of a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the field, or the wonderfulness of sundown, or of stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring. These with the rest, these with the rest, one and all are to me miracles, the whole referring yet to each distinct in its place. To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with man in them, what stranger miracles are there. So this is the poem. So we will try to discuss it, what these lines mean. In first two lines, poet announce here what, why who makes much of miracle, why you people are making miracle. For example, I was talking about my view about that miracle, that if India will win World Cup in football is a miracle. But here poet has different way. So he says that why you people make of miracles. As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. For the poet, he knows only miracles. Why you are making why are you talking about strange things? Because as far the poet is concerned, he had seen only miracles in his life. What miracles are they? Just let's look. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of the houses towards the sky, when he is walking in the streets of Manhattan, that is miracle for the poet. That is miracle for the poet. When he is walking in the streets of Manhattan, that is the miracle for the poet. Or when he is looking at the sky, towards the sky, over these roofs of the houses. That means with these big buildings which have been created, which have been constructed by human beings. When he's this street which had been prepared by these human beings, when he's walking through these streets, that's miracle. When he's looking towards the sky, through the street, through these houses, through the roofs of the houses which are constructed by human beings, that is a miracle for the poet. So, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water. Or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water. When he is walking with naked feet in the edge of the water on beach, that is also a miracle for the poet. Or stand under trees in the woods. When he is standing under the trees in the woods, that is also a miracle for the poet. Or talk by day, or talk by the day anyone I love. Or talk by the day anyone I love. Or talk by the day anyone I love. Or sit at the table at dinner with the rest. when he is talking to anyone he loves, that is also a miracle for the poet. When he is sitting for the dinner with other people, that is also a miracle for the poet. When I look at the strangers opposite me riding in the car, when he is looking at the stranger people riding in the car, that is also a miracle for the poet. So in first two lines, first miracles he had seen was walking in the streets of Manhattan, whether looking at the sky from through the roofs of the houses was miracle. When he is talking to the people, that is miracle for him. When he is looking at the strangers, that is miracle for the poet. Or watch honeybees round the hive of a summer forenoon. Or watch honeybees busy round the hive of a summer forenoon. When he is looking at these honeybees, that is miracle for the. Are animals feeding in the field? Are animals feeding in the field? When animals are feeding in the field, that is also a miracle for the poet. What are the other miracles? Are the wonderfulness of sundown, are the wonderfulness of sundown or of stars. When he is looking at the wonderfulness of sundown or of stars, shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the moon in spring. So when he is looking at the sundown, that is also a miracle for the poet. When he is looking at this delicate thin curve of the moon, that is also a miracle for the poet. When he is looking at the stars, that is also a miracle for the poet. So here he has referred so many miracles, about so many miracles. So these are natural miracles. In previous miracles, we saw that he was walking in the streets of Manhattan, that was human made. When he was dotting his eyes towards the that sky through the roofs of the houses, that was man made. When he is looking at the people, whether he is talking to the people he loves, that means he loves human beings also. He loves animals. He loves that insects, animals, and that streets of Manhattan. So everything he saw around him, he had seen miracle in all these things. Up to this time, these with the rest, one and all are to me miracles, the whole referring, yet each distinct in its place. He is not talking that only these things which had referred up to this time are miracles. These with the rest, not only these things, everything except update, everything has miracle. The whole referring, yet each distinct in its place, and everything is distinct. Everything have different feature, different qualities. So going to the next, to me every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of a space is a miracle. Every cubic inch of a space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth spread with the same. Every square yard, every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with same. He wants to say here, he wants to speak here, that on this earth, whether it's human beings, whether it's insects, whether it's animals, whether it's buildings, whether it's roads, all are miracle for him. Whether he's talking with him, the people, whether he's eating with the people, that is miracle for the poet. Not only these things, he is talking about that how every hour of the light and dark is also miracle. Every cubic inch of space is miracle. That means space which is intangible, invisible, that is also miracle for the poet. What a beautiful world this had been created by the Almighty. And already I referred. He was a religious person. He was a humanist. He was a philanthropist. So every foot of the interior swarms with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. That means swarms here are insects, group of insects, but That means in the interior of the earth, in the interior of the earth, these swarms with same every food they have, that means that means not only outside the earth, not outside the lithosphere, not outside the crust, but into the crust, inside the crust. That is also miracle. Now he is coming to the uh, aquatic life. If you had seen the picture, this is aquatic life, water life, life in water. So he had refer aquatic life is also a miracle for the poet. What he had said about that, to me sea is a continual miracle. Sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the fishes in the sea are a miracle for me. The rocks are a miracle for the motion of the waves is miracle for the poet. The ships with man in them, ships with man in them, what stranger miracles are there? Then what can be stranger miracle? What can be other, any other miracle here? Can be there, can there be something, is there anything which is beautiful than this, poet want to say? So here we can conclude that poet is very that fascinated this with this world. And in this poem it has in first 13 lines and 22 lines he had referred in this poem. And in first two lines, if we'll discuss that, he is talking about why people make miracles about miracles. Then he talks about the walking of streets of Manhattan. Then he is talking about the streets of Manhattan. And then he is talking about when he is dotting first is streets of Manhattan. Then he is talking about the roofs of the houses. Then he is talking in fifth line, he is talking about the water, beach, when he is walking on the beach. In sixth line he is talking about the standing in the woods mean here forest, when he is in the forest. In seventh line he is talking when he is talking to someone with love. Sixth line seventh line, in seventh line he speaks about when he's talking with anyone with love. In eighth line he talks it when he's having dinner with the rest. In ninth line, when he's he's looking at the strangers in the car, riding in the car. When in 10th line he talks about the honeybees, busy honeybees, HUNEY. If there is spelling mistake, please forget it, honeybees. And when in 11th line, animals feeding in the life, because I'm writing with free hand, so there can be some spelling mistake. And in 12th line he is talking about the, in 12th line he is talking about the if you that recap, that he's talking about the sundown. That is also miracle for the poet, whether it's star shining. In 13th line he is talking about thin curve of the moon. In line number 14, verse number 14, he is talking about these with the rest. Not only these things, these with the rest are miracle for the poet. In verse 15 he is talking about that every these things he talking about have distinct features. In line number 16, in verse number 16, he is talking about, to me, every hour of the day and every hour of light and dark is a miracle for the poet. In line number 17, in verse number 17, he is talking about space. Every cubic inch of space is miracle for the poet. In verse number 18, he is talking about every square yard of the surface of the earth. He is talking about the earth on the lithosphere, on this crust. In 19th line 19th verse he is talking about interior, that means interior of the earth, interior of the earth. In verse number 20, he talks about that sea is a continual miracle. In 20th line he is talking about sea is a continual miracle. And in line verse number 21 he says that fishes that swim, and that rocks, motion of the waves, ships with man in them. And in verse number 22 he talks about what strange miracles are there, what can be strange miracle there. So we discuss all these 22 lines. So this is what summary is about that this poem miracle, where many people may have claimed to see some particular great miracle and others may refuse to believe it. But Whitman claims that he has never known anything other than miracles. He continues, Whitman revealed that the field he finds miracle in the streets of Manhattan, roofs of the houses. He finds amazing when he had intelligence to build. That means he finds that it's amazing that people can build such beautiful things. He reveals that seas in the sky, beach as miracle. He also believed the ability to enjoy them is also itself a miracle. So ability to enjoy, not only beach is miracle, but the ability of humanity to enjoy these things is also a miracle. He also claims that his ability to feel love for another person. If you feel love for your mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, so that is also a miracle. He believes that what kind of mankind has created, nature and human emotions, all are miracles. So in next he continues that sitting with dinner with anyone he loved is a miracle. He talks about these honeybees collecting honey, animals feeding in the field is a miracle. So he is talking about humans, he is talking about animals, he is talking about nature, he is talking about insects. So he feels miracle in everything. He can see miracle in everything. When he mentions insect, particularly honeybee, he allows to that which is very sustenance of life, which he finds miraculous. Everything that is alive and breathing is a miracle to him. So here it also proves that he is really a philanthropist person, and humanist approach he had adopted here. So he admires human mind, he admires Almighty, he admires nature, he admires animals. So everything he admires here. He expresses belief that all of creation, every inch of it speaks of a creator and is therefore a miracle. He specifically mentioned that light and dark is a miracle, which is perhaps a result of his religious background. So this is the summary of the poem. Yes, there is one more important point which he had mentioned, that is sea is a continual miracle, and the sea is a continual miracle, and fishes, rocks, that and also ships on that sea is also a miracle. So this is the summary of this poem. And now some literary features, some poetic devices which had been used by this in this poem. So what are the poetic devices? So every poet tried to include some literary features, poetic devices or figurative languages to make his message clear and effective for the readers. So in this poem, we will discuss only about three literary feature, that is repetition, free verse and imagery. What is repetition, free verse and free verse? I had already told you that we will discuss the free verse, because he was called the father of free verse, because if you look at this poem, there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. So if there is no rhyme scheme, that means it's a free verse poem. So, and what is first of all we will discuss what is repetition. What is repetition? Repetition simply means repeating of a word. For example, if every one of us had heard a poem, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, so in this line, two words, twinkle twinkle, had been repeated. So twinkle here twinkle twinkle here is a repetition. So if one word is repeated within a sentence or a poetical line for more than two times, so that is called repetition. So one of the example which had been drawn from this poem: to me every hour of the light and dark is a miracle, to me the sea is a continual miracle. So to me and to me has been repeated in this verse, so it is a repetition. So you can also check and find if there are some other repetition in this poem or not. So that's your task. Now we will move to another poetic device which had been used, that is free verse. So why it is free verse? So if we look at again at this poem, twinkle twinkle little star, how you wonder what you are. So in first line it is last word is are, and in second line what twinkle twinkle first line last that word is star, and in second line last word is are. And if we look at the third verse, up above the world so high, HIGH high, like a diamond in the sky, SKY sky. So if we look at these words, star rhymes with R, so star is A, rhymes with second verse, so it's A. And third verse, last word rhymes with fourth line, so high and sky, that's B B. If you look at the rhyme scheme of twinkle twinkle little star, it's A A B B. That means first verse, first line rhymes with the second, and third line rhymes with the fourth. So that's how it is A A and B B. But if we look at this poem, in first line its last word is why who make much of miracle, and second is miracles, third is Manhattan, fourth is sky. So all these words did not rhyme with each other, so it is a free verse poem. That's why it is called free verse. Free verse is an open form of poetry. It does not use consistent meter patterns, rhyme, or any other musical pattern. It thus tends to follow the rhythm of a natural speech. So though this whole poem is a free verse poem. And I had already told you that it's a father of free verse poems, that Walt Whitman was called. Now we will look at the imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is a language that appeals to the senses. For example, imagery, we can say it had been derived from the word image. So what is image? Any picture. When the writer is able to create any image in the reader's mind, that is imagery. For example, I'm talking to you. When I was walking towards my home, I saw a snake in the road. So when I'm talking about the snake, and I was walking in the road, and suddenly there was a snake in the road, so that is a image in the reader's mind. There is an image of snake in your minds. So that is imagery. When the writer is able to create image in the reader's mind, learners. Now it's home task for you. You have to complete that. If you look at these poetic devices, first was images used by the poet, second is a rhyme scheme in the poem. So you have to search out what other images which had been used by the poet. And rhyme scheme, it is a free verse poem. So second is you have to write miracle you have encountered in your life in 150 words. So these are two things you have to complete in homework. Thank you very much.